have decided to suspend my campaign for president effective today. Now, I'm leaving this campaign, but let me promise you, I will never leave the fight for conservative values, and I will never stop fighting to elect principled Republican leaders to every office in the land.
Down goes Mike Pence. There you saw him announce the end of his bid for president, and my uterus just went, because that dude would have definitely enacted a Christian nationalist psychotic agenda. There he was speaking at a Republican Jewish Coalition donor conference in Las Vegas. Guess he didn't get those donations that he wanted. The question, of course, is like, why now? What's going on? Your former, president might be going to jail. It's your turn. But this is what the insiders are saying. While Pence put in the work expected of a top tier campaign, making at least 10 trips to Iowa, 5 trips to New Hampshire as a candidate, often it was just a few dozen attendees at his campaign events to greet him. Oh man. Volunteers and staffers seemed to struggle to fill the rooms he rented. Girl, been there. All right. Sometimes when I do a show and I'm like, oh, I really wanted to make sure there was like at least 50 people here and there's like 12. You're like, oh, embarrassing. I'm going to do my set anyway. Speaking as a stand-up comic, he had only $1.2 million in cash on hand at the end of last month, roughly equal to what he'd been spending on a monthly basis over the previous quarter, according to a recent filing with the FEC. And while he'd met the Republican National Committee's polling criteria for an invitation to the November 8th primary in Miami, he'd not yet met the 70,000 individual donor threshold and had only another 9 days to do so. So yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of mailers. That's a lot of like sitting outside of, the Vons and asking people to donate $2. He said, we knew this would be an uphill battle, but I have no regrets. The only thing that would have been harder than coming up short would have been if we had never tried at all. Oh, I was gonna say being president. You ineffective doofus. There we go. Other people have responded. First is Ron DeSantis. And here's what he had to say. Oh, we don't have that. Okay. Ron DeSantis wrote this. Thank you so much. He wrote, Vice President Mike Pence is a principled man of faith who has worked tirelessly to advance the conservative cause. Casey and I appreciate Mike and Karen for their willingness to put themselves forward in this campaign and wish the Pence family well in their next steps. So that's sweet.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.